Book of Heaven, Volume 11, February 14, 1912. Jesus looks at everything in the will. In the divine will, all things acquire the same value. Continuing in my usual state, my always lovable Jesus came, and I was saying to him, "Tell me, O Jesus, how is it that after you have disposed the soul to suffering, and knowing the goodness contained in it, she loves suffering, she suffers almost with passion, and while she believes that suffering is her inheritance, all of a sudden you take this treasure away from her?" And Jesus,
"My daughter, my love is great, my rule is insuperable, my teachings are sublime, my instructions divine, creative and inimitable. Therefore, so that all things, be they great or small, painful or enjoyable, natural or spiritual, may acquire one single color and have one single value. Once the soul has practiced suffering and reaches the point of loving it, I let this suffering pass into her will as her own property. So every time I send her suffering, having the property and the dispositions within her will, she will always be disposed to suffer it and to love it. I look at things in the will, and it is as if the soul were always suffering, even if she does not suffer. And so that pleasure may have the same value as suffering, as well as praying, working, eating, sleeping. In sum, everything, because everything is in whether things are from my will, so that all things may have one same value. I allow the soul to practice all things in my will with holy indifference. So it seems to the soul that I give her something, and then I take it away from her, but it is not true. Rather, it happens that at the beginning, when the soul is not yet well trained, she feels sensitivity in suffering, in praying, in loving. But when, through practice, these things pass into her will as her own property, her sensitivity ceases. And when the need arises for her to use these divine properties which I made her acquire, with firm step and imperturbable heart, she begins to exercise them as the opportunity comes. For example, does suffering come? She finds within herself the strength and the life of suffering. Must she pray? She finds within herself the life of prayer, and so with all the rest.
According to what Jesus says, it seems to me this way. Let us suppose that I have received a gift. Until I make up my mind on where I should keep that gift, I look at it, I appreciate it, and I feel a certain sensitivity in loving that gift. But if I keep it under lock and key, no longer watching it, that sensitivity ceases. However, with this, I cannot say that the gift is no longer mine. On the contrary, it is more certainly mine, because I keep it under lock and key, while before it was in danger, and someone might have stolen it from me. Jesus continues,
"In my will, all things hold each other's hands, all look alike, and all are in accord. Therefore, suffering gives its place to pleasure and says, I have done my part in the will of God, now you do yours, and only if Jesus wants it, I will enter the field again. Fervor says to coldness, you will be more ardent than me if you content yourself with staying in the will of my eternal love. Prayer to work, sleep to vigil, illness to health, everything, all things among themselves. It seems that each one leaves its place to the other to be present in the field, though each one has its own distinct place. So it is not necessary for one who lives in my will to move in order to place herself in the act of doing what I want. She is already in me, like an electric wire, doing whatever I want.